Prince Harry's new book has been causing some stir for quite a while. Turns out it's not just the royal family who aren't too sure what to expect. According to a royal author, Prince Harry's impending memoir may not be warmly received by the public either. Honestly, with everything going on in the UK, this isn't quite the financial climate for people to be worrying about anything other than themselves. Let's find out more, starting with the royal author's prediction. Prince Harry's memoir may not land as warmly in the current economic climate, according to a royal author. Prince Harry's upcoming memoir, Spare, was mentioned in an interview by royal author Gareth Russell, who predicted that readers might not be all that interested in reading it. The fact that this book is going to be released, particularly in Britain, in the midst of a cost of living crisis and what may be a very harsh winter, presents challenges for anyone writing from a position of wealth and luxury. In addition to being Prince Harry, he believes this is the reason why it might not be received as kindly as it might have been in a more financially stable time period. He pointed out that there are pensioners in the country who are unable to turn on their heating, so their perceptions of sorrow and grief are certainly different from those of those who are trying to pay their expenses if they were born into tremendous privilege. Russell also discussed how Harry's memoir would affect the Sussexes' capacity to make amends with the royal family if its contents are unfavorable to the family. The author stated, "I think he's someone who very much wants to get things off his chest. We get the impression that the Sussexes are hoping for a year of peace, and that by mending fences with the royal family, 2023 will be a better year for them. Doesn't look too good with the impending book, and we just have the title now. Next, are there shots to be fired?" Russell claims that he's heard that some of the content in the memoir has been attempted to be toned down, but he's sure of what Harry would tell. Prince Harry has wanted to do this for a very long time. He lost his mother at a very young age, and it was naturally very tough for him. The royal author thinks that the prince truly and correctly blames the media, believing that many of the lessons that should have been learned by these organizations at the time of his mother's passing have not been learned still. There'll undoubtedly be some jabs at the monarchy, Russell thinks, because he was never in a position to openly grieve or protest against it, thanks to the royal rule of remaining tight-lipped. But more than the royal family, Harry's target will be more towards the media and the press. We're going to have to wait and see what the tone and contents are of the book. If anything, it's been kept tightly under wraps. Coming up, it's risky business for Prince Harry. According to a recent public poll answered by 1,629 British people, the majority of UK citizens, that's about 55%, are unlikely to purchase the Duke of Sussex's upcoming biography. The memoir's release will be a global event, according to royal critic Richard Fitzwilliams. The expert added that the 1951 publication of A King's Story by the Duke of Windsor was the only prior work by a royal that comes close to this. More crucially, Richard Fitzwilliams argued that the effect the book is certain to have would be unaffected by the number of individuals who bought it. Prince Harry signed a lucrative multi-book contract that features his memoir, one that he promised would be an honest account of his life. But after the passing of the Queen, criticizing the royal family has become riskier business. Prince Harry, who was living in self-imposed exile following his tumultuous separation from the British royal family, has been writing this tell-all for quite some time. The book's release date, after months of wild speculation, is January 10th, 2023. Any criticisms of the royal family or the monarchy in the biography could be seen as impolite by many readers in light of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. At various stages, the prince has changed his mind about the contents of the book, and the endeavor has been cloaked in rumors, edits, delays, and secrecy. Now for the conundrum the prince is in. It's true that the book will be released at a critical time for the British monarchy and the general public, who are still getting used to King Charles III and are in turmoil due to political and economic unrest. Prince Harry is placed in an impossible situation as a result of its publishing. The monarchy and his relationship with his family could suffer as a result of damaging discoveries. Holding back, though, might hurt sales and make it harder for his publisher to repay its high cost. It could also damage Harry's self-made reputation as the rebellious, forthright prince. New revelations from Harry could increase public skepticism of the monarchy and its extensive cast of courtiers. In the wake of the Queen's passing, several political observers have questioned the monarchy's value. So who's to say if this bombshell won't make those feelings worse? Oh, by the way, the passing of Prince Harry's grandmother mother, Queen Elizabeth, will be mentioned in his book. The planned memoir was mostly written before Queen Elizabeth passed away on September 8th, but recent edits have been made and will reportedly mention her passing now. Moving on, the meaning behind his book title. The title of Prince Harry's new book is heartbreaking and carries a lot of meaning. The Duke of Sussex's upcoming memoir, Spare, will include reflections on loss, love, and recovery. The word spare undoubtedly derives from the proverb, the heir and the spare, referring to the distinct fates that have kept Prince Harry and his older brother, Prince William, apart since birth. Before William and Kate Middleton welcomed their 3 children, his younger brother was the next in line to the throne. Even though it wasn't mentioned in the publisher's press release, the memoir is anticipated to touch on Harry's current interactions with the other members of the royal family and the new Prince of Wales. According to Princess Diana's biographer Andrew Morton, the late Princess of Wales would have been devastated to witness how her sons have grown apart. The author's remarks concur with Harry's own feelings. In a 2016 interview, the prince discussed his concerns about how things will change once Prince George reaches adulthood and the ambiguity surrounding the responsibilities of the future sovereign's younger sibling. It's such a sad state of affairs. Now, the king has some unexpected changes in store for the family. In addition to appointing Prince Edward and Princess Anne, King Charles chose not to deprive Andrew and Harry of a significant royal position. The king has expanded his pool of Counsellors of State, who carry out constitutional duties while he's away from home or ill, as a result of the royal family reorganization. The Princess Royal and the Earl of Wessex can now formally assume the position while the king is away. Despite earlier reports that said they were about to lose their status, Princes Harry and Andrew have also been able to keep it. Charles is reportedly considering amending the law to limit Counsellors of State to active members of the royal family. But despite no longer being active members of the royal family, Harry and Andrew are still legally recognized as Counsellors of State in Britain. The House of Lords was previously informed by Viscount Stansgate that the Regency Act needs to be modified now that Charles is the king. Because Andrew has resigned from public service and Harry lives in California, the House of Lords requested a reasonable amendment back in October. Even though Andrew lost his royal responsibilities in February, he'd served as a Counsellor of State since becoming 21 in 1981, and Harry had done so since September 2005, when he turned the same age. Lastly, we're not sure if that's going too well for the king. According to reports, King Charles isn't too pleased with the royal siblings Princess Anne and Prince Edward, since they went to a shooting party with disgraced Prince Andrew just after the king granted them more responsibilities. The Duke of York, the Princess Royal, and the Earl of Wessex were apparently seen at a shooting party last weekend at Windsor Estate. King Charles reportedly made an effort to keep his distance from the gathering. According to a source close to the royal family, Prince Edward and Princess Anne's backing for Andrew left King Charles feeling considerably unsatisfied. Privately, Anne and Edward had been worried about Andrew and wanted to see how he was doing. Charles, though, feels that he shouldn't be a public figure. So yes, His Majesty wasn't at least ecstatic. It's important to know that King Charles has made it a priority to streamline the monarchy during his reign, but he still hasn't removed Prince Andrew from royal duties, who became involved in a abuse case due to his connections to Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted child. Can we expect that to happen anytime soon? That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Prince Harry's upcoming memoir? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.